So, have you ever wanted to just walk into a cafe in Berlin or a shop in Vienna and feel totally confident? Well, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code on German greetings. We're going to turn that little moment of hesitation into a real, authentic connection. Let's just dive right in.
Does that thought of saying the wrong thing, maybe making a social slip-up, make you just a little bit anxious? Yeah, you're not alone. It's a super common feeling, but I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to have a simple framework that just completely replaces that fear with confidence. For real.
Okay, so before we even get into the specific words or, whether to shake hands or hug, we need to cover the absolute foundation of social etiquette in Germany. This is the one thing you really must do. It applies everywhere to everyone.
And here it is. It's really simple. Always acknowledge others. It's just customary to acknowledge people, even strangers, as a matter of basic courtesy. This is why when someone walks into a small shop or a doctor's waiting room, you'll probably hear them say a general "Guten Tag" to the whole room. Silence isn't really the default here. A small acknowledgement is always seen as a sign of respect.
And the best part is just how easy this is. It doesn't have to be a big, formal Guten Tag every single time. A lot of the time, a simple nod and a friendly smile are all you need to follow this rule. The key thing is that small gesture of recognition. It just signals politeness and shows that you're, socially aware. All right, now for the main event. Seriously, if there's one single concept that unlocks the entire German social code, it's understanding the difference between du and Sie. If you can get this right, you are 90% of the way there. So both du and Sie mean you, but, and this is a big but, they are not interchangeable at all. Think of it like the difference between calling someone Bob versus Mr. Smith, except this distinction is way more important in German. It's a fundamental signal of respect, and honestly, choosing the wrong one can set a really awkward tone for the whole conversation.
So let's break this down, nice and simple. Du, that's your informal you. It's for your family, your friends, your peers. The whole vibe is just casual and familiar. Then you have Sie. This is your formal you, and you use it for strangers, anyone older than you, and it's absolutely essential in all professional settings. It signals respect and politeness. Here's the most important takeaway from this slide. When in doubt, always start with Sie.
And here's a quick but really crucial pro tip. You only use the formal Sie when you're speaking directly to a person. If you're talking about them to someone else, you just switch to the regular form. So, for example, you'd say to your boss, "How are you?" using a Sie form. But then you might turn to a colleague and say, "I saw him earlier." Just remembering this one little thing will make you sound so much more natural.
Okay. Theory is great. But how does all this actually look in the real world? Let's put this code into practice and see the actual words and actions you can use every day.
So in those informal du situations, everything is super relaxed. You'll hear hello or hi all the time. A more distinctly German informal greeting you might hear is Grüß dich, which literally means greet you. As for goodbyes, they're simple too, like tschüss or the very common ciao. Physically, yeah, hugs, pats on the shoulder, that's all totally normal among friends.
Now, let's flip to the formal Sie world. Here you'll want to use Guten Tag, which just means good day. And notice this. The formal equivalent of Grüß dich is Grüßi. See? It perfectly shows the difference. The standard physical greeting is a firm, confident handshake while you maintain eye contact. When you first meet someone, a simple Freut mich is a great way to say nice to meet you. And of course, the classic farewell is Auf Wiedersehen. Fantastic. You have officially mastered the core rules. But if you really want to impress people, let's look at a few extra details that will make you sound less like a tourist and, well, a little more like a local.
You've got to remember, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland are diverse places. So let's do a quick fire round. Up in the north, you'll hear Moin Moin pretty much any time of day. Head south to Bavaria or Austria, and Servus or Grüß Gott are super common. Pop over to Switzerland, and it's Grüezi. And for a really fun, uniquely Austrian farewell, you might even hear a casual Baba. Dropping one of these in the right place, it shows you've really done your homework.
Okay, beyond the greetings, these three words are your absolute social survival kit. First, Danke for thank you. Simple. Then there's Bitte, which is this amazing magical word that means both please and you're welcome. And finally, Entschuldigung. This is your go-to for getting someone's attention, saying excuse me, or apologizing. Master these 3, and you can navigate almost any situation politely.
So, after all of that, if you only remember one thing, just one thing from this whole breakdown, let it be this. When in doubt, always start formal with Z. It is always better to be a little too formal than too casual. It's a sign of respect, and hey, if the other person wants to switch to the more informal do, they'll be the one to offer it. This simple rule will never, ever steer you wrong.
And there you have it. You now have the keys. You've unlocked the German greeting code. So the question isn't really what to say anymore, it's how are you going to use this knowledge? Because at the end of the day, these aren't just a bunch of rules. They're tools. They're tools for building respect and creating genuine human connections. So how will you use them?